And I am Lake Moore. Good evening. How have you been? I am so glad to be back with you. It is intentional, the quiet time here recently. I've been on a smooth and intentional sabbatical. You guys, when you hear a voice that tells you to sit, to get quiet, you may not always understand why. And yesterday it was so awesome. I shared it with my husband, and he reminded me, "Hey, you remember I started to come on last night?" He was like, "You're supposed to wait until February the 1st." And here we are, February the 1st. You guys, we have been 31 days into 2021. Cannot forget that extra one. 2021. And here we are. I am the Lake Moore of More Capacity, where you already know what it is. And I believe that many of you that have been walking this journey along with me understand that the stretch is necessary. Perfection is not the measure, but maturity is mandatory. It still is. Now more than ever, it is mandatory. There is no time to wait. There is no time to fret and to be afraid by any means. Fear is false. My husband always says it's false evidence appearing real, but no time to wait. We talked about many times last year about making sure that we're celebrating our win, our WIN, and not waiting to WHEN. That still goes today. Yes. So I do want to give you a disclaimer. The music that you hear in the background is Gregory Porter. He is amazing. I do not own the rights, but he is awesome to set the mood. I'm not going to be before you long because I will be back daily now that this sabbatical is over to share with you. Have a couple things marinating. But hello, I want to ask you a question. And you know the song by Lionel Richie where he says, "Hello, is it me you're looking for?" That thing is so deep on so many levels. Do you realize that when someone greets you, when someone says hello, that they are asking for you? Many times we are prone to send a representation of who we are. Someone will say hello, and then they'll follow up with how are you? And instead of being transparent and authentic and staying in a moment and acknowledging, I see, okay, we may give the generic, I'm fine, but we don't have to be fine. You see, the maturity that's mandatory is to be able to tell the truth, even in that moment. Even if you're the strong friend and everybody thinks that you're always okay, that the maturity is being able to extend your voice for help. No longer, you guys, as we stretch, are we supposed to stretch alone? Because as we stretch, it is to give us a deeper reach and a different capability and ability to connect to others. So, as we continue to say hello, and someone really, they're wanting the you, the very essence of who you are, make sure you're giving them that, nothing less. And if you're not sure of what that it is, then take a moment and get quiet in a secret place and tap in and rediscover it. Yeah. It is necessary. Hey, First Lady Short, I see you. Indeed. I was talking with someone last weekend. We were discussing a lot of different things, and they dropped this nugget, and I want to leave it with you. That many times we send a representation of who we are. We say hello, we show up in relationships, we show up at work or in our marriages. Shoot, sometimes even in our family, you can be around people and they still not really quite understand the essence of who you are. This is the time that we no longer send a representation of ourselves. No, not a representation, not a facade, not going in masked, but with full clarity and understanding and confidence that he that begun a good work in us, that he's performing it. And so that we can stand in it and we can present that to the world without fear, without doubt, without shame. Because the truth of the matter is that the process that we've endured this far, because perfection is not the measure, but the maturity is mandatory, that you can bring that maturity, that experience. And that is really what people want and they need. If we have issues in any way of connecting with someone or connecting with people, it could be because there's a part of ourselves that we won't allow to come to the forefront. It may be that piece of the puzzle that's missing is the one that we are very fearful of expressing and showing because we're not sure if it will be well received. Can we dare to remove that? Give that piece of you or strengthen that piece of you or that testimony or that experience that is the one thing that you really don't want anybody else to see. But hello, is it me you're looking for? Yeah, that's the piece. That's the piece. That is the piece that very well may open up the door that you've been knocking on. Take the risk. What do you have to lose? Nothing at all. You really don't. Nothing at all. Have nothing to lose. There's healing in it and victory. So you guys, I hope that your week is going well. I told you I took a sabbatical, and that's the only reason why. And I didn't know why I was supposed to sit for a moment and be quiet, but I want to acknowledge that in this season, I lost a very close cousin of mine. And I'm grateful because I was able to rest and hear the Lord clearly. So shout out. And this one is for my cousin, Veronica. I'll try to keep my tear ducts together. She lost her life last Thursday. And, sometimes when we lose people, and you ever have somebody that you lose and we lose people all the time, of course, shout out and legacy remembrance to Cicely Tyson. They actually passed on the same day. But there's something about people that show up when we say hello, when we call them, and they don't send a representation of who they are. Both of those women, Cicely Tyson and a young lady by the name of Veronica Bowie, their legacy is going to live. But it's not the legacy of the facade. It's the legacy of the fullness that they embraced, standing firm in the confidence of who they were created to be. And because they occupied that space for the allotted time that they were graced to have, now people will speak their names and they will smile. There'll be a bridge for others to follow, a bridge for others to connect. That's our charge for this season. Understand who we are. In the quiet time, y'all, there's so many layers, of course, that we all have and an opportunity for us to peel them back. But there's no more excuses for not making it happen. None whatsoever. And the reality is that time is short. And we don't know what tomorrow may bring, but we have the gift. How many times have we said it? Of now. Maximize it. So that as you represent, you are representing in the fullness of his glory. Watch what he does. So I say to you, hello, I'm looking for you. I'm looking for you. The world is looking for you. Give him the fullness. Don't hold nothing back. And watch God give the increase. I'm Lake Moore of More Capacity. So good to see you. I'll see you now that the sabbatical is over very frequently. Remember the stretch, the test, the pulls, the adapting, The wisdom and knowledge and understanding that we gain on this path, that is necessary. Perfection, it ain't gonna always be easy. The journey of making sure that you walk and you tread based upon sometimes the path is easy instead of one that is untrodden that you may have to create. It's not the measure, but maturity, learning, being coached, being mentored, taking the experience, appreciating it with gratitude, and sharing it with somebody else. That is what's mandatory. Good to see you too. May God bless you. May you rest well. And I will see you again real soon. Good night. Bye now.